You know, I have this stream deck and I never fucking use it. Mainly because my desk is kind of weird. I'm sitting back as a controller game, but mainly because every time I think I'm like, oh yeah, here's a use case for it, the stream deck just fucks up. Oh, fuck that. Welcome back to Parasite Eve. When was the last Parasite again? I know I waited like a month to put it on the archive channel, and that was, oh god, I started this series 4 months ago. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, you guys. Let's see. Okay. No, I turned on the fancy setting for my activity feed to show me how many viewers I have, and it's still... I don't know why. My stream information update, by the way, I set it to be not Baldur's Gate like forever ago. I have to update it this way. Of course, it's a Parasite Eve stream, and we're troubleshooting. Let's see. This should plug the... It doesn't. That shows my thing. Serious? Yeah, it's called Azzy Archive. Apparently, there isn't a chat command for it. So give me 2 seconds and I'll make one. Because, you know, it's Parasite Eve. This isn't an excuse for me to just listen to this banger theme again. Promise, winky face. Custom. Okay. I'm not adding a timer for it. All right. So there you go. Last time on Parasite Eve, Ayabrea had a picture of Tifa on her desk. Don't know why, but she does. No, but for real, we all right, let's just give a quick summary about video game. Hi, we are Ayabrea. We are a gruff New York City cop with weird, fucked up parasite powers. I don't remember how much of the story we know, but we're about to learn. We have a detective, totally not Barrett. And he is now the de facto police chief because the police chief died, sacrificing his life to save totally not Barrett's, totally not Marlene. There's a giant monster who screams about 8th, 9th grade biology, something about the powerhouse of the cell, and she has currently taken over the entirety of New York City, or at least Manhattan. And we have magical parasite powers to stop her. for some reason. Also, this game is based on a book. Or a sequel to a book? More of a sequel. So to answer the burning fucking question, I mean, does any part of New York even matter besides Manhattan? My girlfriend used to live in Brooklyn. But the answer is no. I was supposed to say something, but I totally forgot. What was it? That's the joke. No part of Michigan matters. Ah, right. Hey, Azzy, what the fuck took you so goddamn long? You, like, streamed the entire game in 3 sessions and left the last, I don't know, hour? What gives? And the answer to that question may surprise you. There is a... Sorry, I'm trying to fix that annoying... Not for you guys. Oh, totally annoying. Oh. Okay. What gives? I'm moving the wrong layer again. All right, we're cutting off a little bit of the screen, but who cares? Anyway, why the fuck did it take me so long to finish this game? And the answer is simple. I'm burnt. I'm still, to an extent, burnt the fuck out of this game. And here's why. Actually, let's go back to the world map really quick so I can show you guys. You see this piece of fucking shit? The Chrysler Building? This is the super dungeon for the video game, only available on New Game Plus. However, I've been playing on New Game Plus basically the entire time because I was going to do this entire dungeon mostly on screen. I didn't realize how fucking boring the super dungeon was. Now, there are some cool things in the super dungeon. You find really cool, like, end game gear. But every dungeon is pseudo-randomized, so it's a maze. Still not as bad as Dot Hack Quarantine's final dungeon, or extra dungeon. That thing is a piece of shit because it's like 100-something floors of crash mob filler that you still have to deal with anyway because of the way that game works, and then data bugs and infection rate, and fuck off. That dungeon sucked. I did all of that on screen. Big mistake. Don't fucking do it. Just watch the cutscene, genuinely. So I was like, okay, we are at the point of no return. Museum is the final dungeon of the game before the end time. I'm gonna go do the Chrysler Building, because at the end of the Chrysler Building is the true final boss. Here's some fun facts that I didn't know. Did you know the Chrysler Building progress saves between playthroughs? Did you know you are intended to face the boss of the Chrysler Building on fucking playthrough 4 or 5? with incredibly overpowered weapons. And now here's the thing. We're going to go back to the museum and I'll show you. Last time, we did a bunch of fucking tinkering. There we go. We did a bunch of tinkering. And we have this overpowered monster. Fuck no, Tim. So we did that. We got this overpowered monster. Or at least y'all think it's overpowered. But holy shit, you have no idea how bad this gun is. I also learned that rate of fire sucks. You basically don't want rate of fire. But who cares? And what else? What else? What else? We made this armor. This armor sucks. None of this armor or weapon that I have is even remotely close enough for the final boss, the secret boss. So I did the entirety of the Chrysler building before beating the game. And it was hard. It was really difficult. I relied on a little bit of underhanded methods. But we did it eventually. We beat the Chrysler building, got up to the secret final boss, and promptly got our butts kicked. And of course, I didn't want to overlevel the final boss of the normal game. I didn't want to overlevel the final boss of the secret dungeon. So I started doing some research. And they were like, oh yeah, you know, you're supposed to have a fucking attack value increase of like 400. You know how this is plus 152? This isn't even close. And you're supposed to have armor that's like 600. And you're supposed to be like a really specifically high level. So I said, oh my God, fuck. And here's what I did. I beat the game using this save file. And I passed. So when you beat this game, what you get to do is you get to engrave a weapon and a piece of armor. And yes, I did make a new save file where I beat the game just so I could name the armor and weapon cool shit. Shut up, I'm a dork. Anyway, beat the game, engraved some armor, upgraded it, then proceeded to grind on my day one save file of disc 1 enough to beat the Chrysler building. But all of the enemies in the Chrysler building disappear because every 10 floors of the 70, I think, every 10 floors, there is a boss. Once you defeat the boss, all the enemies disappear. So I couldn't grind effectively. So I cheated. Listen, all it is saving me time. Well, that's what I mean when I say I'm lazy. I will cheat in RPGs exclusively, but only to save time. Like grinding money, grinding experience, etc. Because back when I was, you know, unemployed. Hey, Wallflower Martyr. Welcome to the stream. Back when I was unemployed, I was crazy. I borrowed an ex of mine's copy of Omega Ruby, and I got Combuskin in Omega Ruby, which is a level 16 Pokemon. I got to Combuskin before the first rival battle, before you get Pokemon, all the Pokemon in the area are level 2 to 3 to 4. I got a Combuskin to that area. The last time I played Persona 4, in the first dungeon of the game, I grinded to like level 30 or 40 when the final boss of that area is meant to be fought at like level 12. Because I am crazy and find it really enjoyable when I one-shot shit. Of course, that's before you get Pokeballs. That's before you can even leave any areas. I'm insane. You should see my Final Fantasy 12 save file. The first thing I did when I got that game was grind to max fucking license points for the follow, Wallflower Martyr. When I played FF8, every single time I've ever played FF8, which is why it's my favorite fucking Final Fantasy game, because you can get disgustingly overpowered in the tutorial. And that's because of Triple Triad. When I got a PSP, I bought the FF8 PS1 edition, and I grinded to level 50. And then somebody told me that I was stupid because all of the enemies scale with you. So I restarted, did all of that Triple Triad again, and then got Diablo so I can turn Inknun on. I am that crazy bitch when I have time. But, oh yeah, you can see my fucking XP's glitched out because of... But I try not to cheat too hard, and I try not to have the final boss of... I try not to have bosses be too much of a pushover. And that brings us back here. I had to do the Chrysler Dungeon twice. I had to do this final section twice. I lost my save twice. It's been a fucking ride. So let's go do the final dungeon of the game. God damn it. We get to see our buddy boy pal, Dr. Clamp, and a weirdo. Let me know if the game sound is too loud or too quiet. God, it's been a minute. I apologize, everybody. Is that a man? Did we actually get this far during the last stream, or did I miss it? We got this far. Except the end of the last VOD is just me doing like 8 floors of the Chrysler building. And then going, this fucking sucks. I'm not doing this on stream. And then we left. Boy, man. Oh, by the way, our inventory is full of fucking goodies. We're not allowed to get rid of the Narita because video games used to be so fucking smart. There is a special item we need for the final boss, and the Narita gets taken away. So first of all, we can't deposit the Narita. We can't get rid of it. But the Narita gets replaced with the special cutscene item. Also, Wallflower Martyr, how do people say your name wrong? They say Matir? Or do they just, like, misread it initially? Which I get constantly. The amount of people who call me Azzy Lizzie is kind of weird. Also, I'm kind of tired. Apologies if I'm slipping over my words. We just need to get this shit done. I'm gonna fucking kill you, Tim. would be really awkward if I accidentally left one of the cheats on. I think I didn't. Gotten Tim Homless and Tim Fulms. I assume it's either like Tim, Michael, Frank, or 2 middle names, or Tim Mo fucking Holmes, boy. Oh boy, a tool. Oh yeah, here's a little. Actually, we're tooling. Yes. Okay. I assume it's motherfucking Holmes. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so here's the BP system that I've mostly been doing off screen. You can increase how quickly your ATB gauge fills. You can increase how many items you can hold, both of which are useful. You can increase the plus stats of weapons and armors, which is also super useful. However, bonus points carry over, I think, between playthroughs. Also, the best way to get bonus points is to go through an entire chapter without saving, only saving when the next day starts. Did I say it's locked? Well, let's go find the key then. Now that the dinosaurs are out, I believe that means go otherwhere or elsewhere. Hey, so did you guys know that Starfield is out? I didn't. Genuinely? How is that game? I've only heard weird rumor, I guess. There was that guy who got like a bunch of copies early and then streamed himself playing the game and then tried to sell 27 copies of it and then tried to review the game. From what I've seen, it's a stuttering mess. That's so surprising. Is it like a huge glitch fest? I mean, like, if it's a Bethesda game and it's a huge glitch fest, like, that's par for the course, obviously. But there was this rumor going around saying basically, the game was ridiculously polished, which kind of made me bored. Because Bethesda... So, first of all, if you haven't played a Bethesda game except on console, I'm sorry. But Bethesda games are carried by mods. Stuff like Fallout 4, Skyrim, especially Oblivion. The stories are so nothing. Look at all the little animals. Fuck! I'm not doing this. You can get some really good items here, but I'm not doing them. I'm not here to learn. I'm here to shoot, murder, kill. Anyway, Bethesda games are ubiquitous for being basically unplayable on release. To this day, or at least I bought Fallout 4 even though I don't like the new Fallout writing. And the game's like meh, but I got it on a deep sale. So I played through it, did the main story as you do. And the game just is uncompletable. You're supposed to make this giant like machine that teleports you to a place, but the game just fucking hard crashes every time I do it. I go back to a save, it doesn't matter. The game just hard crashes. That's normal for Bethesda games. They barely work. And it's not even that what QA staff they have doesn't do their job. It's just nature of the engine that they have been using for every Bethesda game is almost 30. It's like my favorite fun factoid about, like, whenever I talk about those Bethesda games is they use Gamebryo, which is like the engine that Catherine on the 360, I think Wizard 101 uses it. Like, it's an old archaic ass fucking engine, and they've basically just been stacking on shit to it because the way that engines work in game design is a lot less cut and dry than people give it credit for. Everyone's just like, oh, an engine, it means how pretty is the video game. Like all of those Unreal 3, 4, 5, Zelda 64 creations, quote unquote. That's not what an engine is. An engine can look great or look terrible, just assets alone. But there are some like engine hiccups that are the same. Like every Unreal Engine 3 game has this one specific bug that's really funny to point out, where when you load a place, all of the textures are like frozen. Or not frozen. They're like shitty fucking distance textures for like a second and a half. And every freaking UE3 game has that. Every single one. Gears of War, basically every 360 game. I'm gonna be honest, I'm just wondering, did I get a key? Didn't. You know what's funny? Starfield has a VSync option. I believe that, but that's because it's like a console game. Most games have a VSync option. But engines are difficult. So for example, every game nowadays uses Unreal Engine 5. So if you need to hire on for a project, you're probably going to want to like use Unreal Engine 5 for that project, just because every game designer who has ever done anything, like if they have any experience in game design, they've used Unreal Engine 5. So you don't need to train them. You just let them have it. Like, you just hire them, do initial onboarding, and go develop video game. Smile. Why VSync when the game is locked at 60? Screen tearing. That's what VSync is technically for, but it introduces a lot of like late input delay. Let's see. Getting rid of anything? How about a medicine? Oh boy, nothing. It's not just that. So the 50 hertz thing is comedy, haha, those darn British people. They use PAL format or used. I don't think it's even the case anymore. And that's why a bunch of older video games have differences between the PAL version and the NTSC version. Anyway, so when you're hiring for a video game, you want to probably use an engine that everybody knows, like Unreal Engine 5. because the time and money it takes to train them on an arbitrary engine is just not worth it. Unless you need a specific engine for specific things. Like, I believe Nintendo uses proprietary engines. What else? So that was the problem that EA faced, because they had their own proprietary engine, Frostbite. So whenever they were hiring for a video game, they had to look for people who had game design experience and then go, hey, you know that game design experience you got? Throw it out the fucking window. We're teaching you Frostbite. And that's a part of the reason why Starfield has been not Starfield. What's the, like, fake video game? Star Citizen? That's why Star Citizen is taking so fucking long. Because A, it's made using the Cry engine, which is made by a team I don't think exists anymore. Is Crytek still? Looks like Crytek's still around. Anyway, it's an engine that's known for being pretty, but if you've ever played any Cry game, any like Far Cry when it came out, or Crysis, what's the one thing everybody knows about Crytek? Their games struggle to run. But not only that, does Far Cry 1 have multiplayer? Yes, Far Cry and Crysis are related. Does Far Cry 1 have multiplayer? Does Crysis at all, that entire 3-game series, have multiplayer? No. But the guy who started making Starfield, who's been gathering money for like fucking 15 years or some shit, said, I want to use Crytek because it's pretty. There was a Crysis 4? Don't want to know about it. Anyway. I just pay attention to dumb shit. It's kind of annoying and useless. Anyway. So they said, all right, we're going to use Crytek. Crytek is not the most popular engine. So every person they hired to make Star Citizen, well, first they had to be trained on the Cry engine. But what happens if you have huge turnover rate for your company? Well, that means you need to hire somebody and go through all the steps of teaching them the Crytek engine again. For example. So Bethesda has been using one engine for, I don't fucking know, forever, basically. And that is the Gamebryo engine. At one point in time, around the creation of Skyrim? Something like that. At one point in time, they renamed it to the Creation Engine because they have been changing the Gamebryo engine so much that it's basically a whole new fucking thing. Oh, is this a boss? Oh, shit. That costs a lot of time and money. So that's why we don't do it anymore. Also, games are much more complicated than they used to. It was fine when everything was like sprite based and whatever, but now basically, why the fuck would I spend forever coding an engine that can handle real-time lighting, graphics a specific way, textures a specific way, rendering a specific way, and then am forced to teach everybody that engine when I could just say, fuck it, use an engine that's already made. Fuck it. Oh boy, man. So that's why people use like the big free engines. Unity, because it's free to license up until a certain point. The Unreal Engine, because it's really bog standard. I feel like there's one more, but I don't remember. Oh yeah, and back in the day, games still did like license engines from other companies. And like two of the big companies that were like heads of the engine industry was id, who made Quake and Doom, I think, and Unreal, Epic, who made Unreal, excuse me, which was not a ripoff of Quake, promise. It actually wasn't. It was about aliens. And then they made Unreal Tournament. Oh boy, that's a fucking video game, let me tell you. So that's been a thing for a while. And basically every shooter in the early 90s used the same engine. That's why System Shock 2 and Thief used the same engine, because the team who made System Shock 2 and Thief made both games, so they were familiar with the engine, that sort of thing. The problem with Gamebryo engine, it's not even that the engine's old. Old engines can be fine. That all depends on compatibility with current hardware. But the problem with Gamebryo, or creation, is that Bethesda's like, well, you know what we should do for Morrowind? We should add this feature. And then they add that feature. And then they make Oblivion. And they're like, you know what we should do with Oblivion? We should add this feature. And then they add that feature. And then eventually you get so much bloat in your engine that it's effectively, well, not effectively. It basically, there's something called tech debt, basically, where when you release a video game, like a brand new video game, you can start from scratch and it's fine. If you update a video game over the course of a long time, such as Destiny, Final Fantasy, World of Warcraft, Warframe, whatever, there's this common thing called tech debt, where basically what tech debt is, well, okay, listen, we know there's this bug that does a certain weird, goofy thing in this game, but it's not that big a deal. We'll just release the game anyway. Known shippables is what they're called. But also, over time, as people play your game, you realize, oh, well, there's all these other bugs we didn't know about. Some of them get fixed, some of them don't. Sometimes when you fix a bug, another bug will appear. Or my A recent example I learned about was the rock. Now, don't play World of Warcraft, respect yourself. However, back in the day, when World of Warcraft released, there was a rock. In an area, just a rock. Geometry, texture, rock. Eventually, as the game changed, they said, I kind of want to change the rock. Maybe let's move the rock over here. Maybe we don't even need a rock in this corner. Fuck it. Get rid of the rock. So they did. And for some inexplicable reason, every time they removed the rock, the game would just hard crash and server death. Over a rock. So, small bugs are typically fine. But over time, they can add up. And over time, so basically, if you're going to patch a bug, there's two ways to patch a bug. There's make the situation where the bug happens not happen anymore, which is typically quicker and easier. Or you find out why the bug happens and fix the bug. Like, fix the actual bug. So, for example, there was the death wall in Hitman World of Assassination. Anytime an NPC would get close to this wall, fucking dead. We don't know why. God fucking knows why. They just die. So what did they do? They tried a couple fixes, couldn't figure out why the wall of death would death some people. We have no idea. So eventually they said fuck it, and they added a giant invisible wall in front of the wall of death that would make it so that the NPCs couldn't walk through it. Or in older games, terrain is typically made of polygons. Sometimes when those polygons meet together, and you fuck around with your character in a certain way, you can flip out of bounds. So what a lot of, and that's why we have situations like out of bounds water in Zelda 64. They surround the entire level with water. So if you do fall in to the world, you'll just resurface somewhere. Or there's a death plane. So if you fall through the floor, boom, you're fucking dead. Or another solution, what if there was just a floor underneath the floor? So, oh yeah, sure, it looks ugly that your character can be like, where the fuck are your character's feet? God knows, but they're standing. But they're not fucking clipping through the goddamn world. So instead of fixing the issue where the character could get out of bounds with the textures and the collision between the polygons, fuck it, let's just do a quick fix. Because if you try and fix it in one area, like, effectively, you're not going to be able to do it in every area. That's why there are tons of games that have out of bounds in them. No matter how hard, like fucking Zelda. What's the fucking Zelda game that came out? Todic. Todic just came out, and there's been a bunch of easy clips through geometry. And Nintendo's like, oh shit, my bad, we'll patch that. And then the fans go, okay, well, we could just do this. So over time, instead of fixing, there are some situations where you can fix the problem at its source, and there are some situations where you can't. when you let a lot of those problems that you can't fix at the source because of either time, effort, money, budget, whatever, the more those stack up, you get something called tech debt. And it's really omnipresent in live service games because if I am a developer for Bungie working on Destiny 2, if I sit there and fix a bunch of bugs, that doesn't make money. But you know what makes money? A new expansion, a new weapon, a new armor. So resources are spent working on new stuff instead of fixing old stuff. And as more and more of that tech debt increases, the harder things can be. This is a problem with Final Fantasy XIV. At one point, I'm pretty sure Yoshi P said, "Hey, I know we just released a critically acclaimed expansion. We're not making new content for a minute because we need to finish some tech debt. We need to sort that out." Basically, the entirety of the post-game of A Realm Reborn was, we gotta fix tech debt, because the entire game is based on Vanilla 14, which was a fucking train wreck. So that's the problem with Gamebryo and the creation engine. Bethesda's been using this engine for 20 fucking years, and that's why we have issues in Fallout 3 that are present in Fallout 76. The same bugs, because it's the same engine. And you can patch as many holes as you want, but eventually you have to admit that the floor is fucked. But that takes time and money. And why would you fix the mountains of tech debt that you have on your engine when you could make Kid in the Fridge side quest? You don't know about Kid in the Fridge side quest, by the way. Holy fucking shit. Do some research. That shit is wild. Anyway, that was the biggest tangent over fucking not anything important. I apologize. I'm a little let down if Starfield isn't a buggy fucking mess, because bugs are the funniest shit in any of those games. I love seeing people with no fucking faces, or people fucking ragdolling because their legs stuck in the floor, or you pick up a spoon and all of the fucking silverware on the table flips out because it just, like, you interacted with one fork, so all of them suddenly get to become active objects in the world with their own physics. That shit's hilarious. And that's what I look forward to in most Bethesda games. Just laughing at the trash fire. Because let's be honest, Fallout 4 doesn't have much in the story department or the gameplay department, unless you like tower defense. And Starfield looks like space Fallout 4, except there's no alternate races. There's just humans. And that's it. And also, there was a rumor saying that the game was actually super polished because of Microsoft. There was some rumor about how they pulled developers off of, not Red Dawn. What's the vampire game that came out and, like, literally so bad that the Xbox guy was like, yeah, they obviously don't know what Xbox quality is. Made by Arcane. Whatever. There was a rumor that they pulled developers off that to fix Starfield. For some reason, I don't know. People defend those games. I don't know why. Hey, you want to know a secret? There's a fucking hidden elevator. What the fuck? Also, I don't know where I am. I haven't been fucking paying attention. I don't remember where I'm supposed to go. My bad. If I'm doing whatever it is wrong. I should probably start paying attention at some point. The Nintendo seal of approval is much different. Xbox quality is them saying, hey, games that are published as exclusives, first party, are supposed to be of a certain quality because they have our Xbox name on it. But the Nintendo seal of approval was way different. And the existence of the Nintendo seal of approval actually goes back to the mid 80s. Before a lot of our time, there was a thing called the video game crash. And that was because basically there was just too many video games. Oh shit, you're right. I should stretch. I totally forgot. I'm like of one mind lately. Anyway, they were just releasing video games. Because you know who can make a video game and release it on the Atari? Me. Me and a fucking bottle of whiskey and a basic programmer's guide will be unstoppable in the gaming sphere, right? Oh no, we made a garbage video game. Effectively. And there were so many of those people doing just shitty video games that everyone was like, well, I'm not buying that shit. That game sucks. I am nothing but exposition. I'm not buying that game. That game sucks. Blah, 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 blah. Video games are stupid. Video games are for children. You wanna play a video game? Go to the fucking arcade. Play some Defender. This fucking home video game shit's a joke. Eventually, Nintendo said, well, that's not a good thing. And after all of these Atari games existed, there was something called the video game crash, where there were so many video games, but nobody was fucking buying them because they were all dog shit. Hi, Croco. Come out from the walls, honey. Dinner's almost ready. Can I lick the ooze? Sure. Anyway, so all of these video games were coming out. They were all shitty. Nobody wanted to buy them. So basically, the entire video game market just crashed, burned, died. Nobody respected it. Nobody cared about it. Nobody liked it. Nothing. Nobody cared about video games. Video games were dead. And they effectively, unless you're counting the fucking ZX Spectrum community in fucking backwater Europe and some Japanese arcades, well, might have been around the time they started at Japanese. Anyway, unless you're a fucking weirdo European with a ZX Spectrum, or a Specky, as they like to call them, that seriously sounds like a slur, I swear to God. Unless you're those people, video games are dead. Nobody likes them. So, Nintendo, a company known for such wonderful things as those like Japanese playing cards that you throw on the ground and then throw another one on top of them and they flip. And other great inventions like the extendo grabber and the calculator score attack video game, the Game & Watch. They said, all right, obviously the problem with video games is not video game. The problem with video games is quality control. Anybody and their mom can just make a goddamn video game. And while that's cool, that's a fucking problem. Can't be having that. So, they invented the Nintendo Seal of Approval. The Nintendo Seal of Approval was a little gold sticker that said, hey, we promise this video game won't be a buggy, unplayable waste of money. And eventually, over time, and also, to get this Nintendo Seal of Approval, Nintendo had to sign off on your video game. You had to show this, like, video game to Nintendo. They had to play through it and be like, yeah, okay, we'll release whatever. You can you can have the Nintendo Seal of Approval because this game doesn't suck too much. Good for you. I don't think I can jump down here. Oh, but I can do that. So that's what the Nintendo Seal of Approval is for. Now, that still technically exists today, where there's the ESRB and other ratings boards who basically exist to say, hey, this video game functions properly and is a video game. So you can have a little video game as a treat. But what ends up happening is the tumultuous story of how video games are developed isn't so simple. When a video game, back in the day, when a video game went gold, that was it. The video game was the video game. If there was a 11th hour game-breaking bug, unless you wanted to lose a lot of money by recalling every copy and redistributing the video game for nothing, the bug was the bug was the bug. There's nothing you can do. Good luck, idiot. Nowadays, we have patches. Video games can be patched, and it's a fucking wonderful thing. So, all of those known shippable bugs increase in number because, well, we can just work on a day one patch. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Day one patch will solve all of our problems. But you have to get ESRB rated before you are able to, like, say, release the video game on the platform, especially on the digital storefront. So, what'll happen is Johnny will show up and he'll be showing off fucking DMC Devil May Cry. And he'll be like, excuse me, what the fuck? I just phased through the floor while doing nothing. And they go, oh, don't worry about it, boss. It'll all be fine. We're aware of that issue. Actually, it's already been fixed on our end, but the disc we printed and gave to you, it's fucked up there. But that's the only place it's fucked up. Don't worry. The ESRB's existence is actually super fucking interesting. And I'll go into that if you remind me, because I will forget. So they'll swear to God They'll be like, oh, no, no, no. Don't worry. That problem's fixed in the day one patch. And that's an issue that game reviewers, official ones, have to go through as well. They'll get a game and they'll be like, hey, and that is actually why a lot of game reviews don't mention stupid, gross, awful fucking bugs. It's like, man, fucking IGN gave Fallout 4 a fucking 8, 9 out of 10. This game is literally unplayable on my fucking Xbox. Whose idea was this? And that's because they're sold the lie. And the lie that they're sold is, oh no, don't worry, we're gonna fix that day one. It's not even an issue. And they tell that to the people at Sony, or the people at Nintendo, or the people at Xbox. Oh, this horrendous game bugging crash that will brick your PS4. No, it's fine. It'll be fixed day one. Don't worry about it. And that's how we got stuff like the original release of Cyberpunk 2077 on PS5 and PS4. And what happened with a lot of people was everyone went, well, why did you okay this, Sony? And Sony looked at themselves and said, is it our fault for believing their lie? Or is there somebody we can throw out as a scapegoat? So they removed Cyberpunk 2077 from the digital storefront. They said, hey, don't buy it on PS4, PS5. And that was that. Fucking dino. I know where I'm supposed to go here. Anyway. Now, if CD Projekt Red makes a new game, Sony's not going to be all that kind and believable with it. They're going to say, oh, no, don't worry, boss. This will be fixed on day one. And they'll look at you and go, I'm not giving you approval until this shit is fixed. Now. And it's basically a trust system because time is money and money's. And that's how all of the, like, shitty, broken Ubisoft games got released. And it's basically a system of trust. The more you release pieces of shit, the more you're not going to be able to release pieces of shit. Why is it that everyone says J like a Y, but none of them letters get the same? You mean C being pronounced ch or k? Professor Clamp, don't move. Put your hands in the air where I can see them. Ida? Hi, Aya. Yeah, there was something I really needed to tell. May I put my arms down now? Also, a lot of those like lambasting letters by big companies to small companies are just jokes. They're not real. They're just business talk. Like, do you guys remember like 2, 3, 4 years ago when Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft banded together and made a statement saying, we do not want to work with Blizzard or Activision after these awful sex crime scandals, so we refuse to work with them until they get their shit together. You guys remember that? Overwatch 2 on Switch now, by the way. No, Daniel came with me part of the way. Where's he? He went to look for something at the hospital. Blizz is a small company, question mark? No. Blizz is part of the conglomerate with King, the Candy Crush people who make a shit ton of money for some reason, and Activision, the people that killed all of your favorite video games, like Tony Hawk and Guitar Hero, so that all of those companies could make map packs for Call of Duty. Or Diablo 4. Hey, wasn't that game great? When is Microsoft gonna buy Blizz already? Got the whole game company, please. I haven't caught up on the most recent development with that news story. Basically, there was this antitrust argument, which there's this joke in the American political business landscape that you are not allowed, one company is not allowed to own too much of a certain thing. So if I'm the resident grass cutter and I'm so profitable that I buy out every grass cutting business in the state, then the government's going to say, "Nuh-uh, that's a monopoly. You're not allowed to do that." I say it's a joke because, well, have you heard of Disney? You know what Disney owns? Disney owns everything. That's a monopoly. There's lots of Comcast has had a monopoly. One of the two. Internet monopolies. Like the fact that they pretend that antitrust lobbying is a thing is a joke. Also, Disney was supposed to make Mickey Mouse like royalty free, available for use from the public like 20 fucking years ago, because copyright can only be existing for so long. But they're so rich that they're just changing laws effectively. But last I checked, there was antitrust lobbying here and in Britain, but eventually, once, because it's super weird. Well, it's also an intellectual property that they have copyright over. But Microsoft, so all of the arguments for and against Microsoft buying ABK, Activision Blizzard King, they're all stupid if you look at them. Like, somebody in Britain was like, hey, if Xbox buys Activision, then that's a whole monopoly on streaming game tech. And every person who's played a video game goes, no, game streaming's a joke. And Activision isn't going to help with that. But it's an argument to a bunch of old people that don't really understand. And that's a lot better than saying, well, Microsoft just bought fucking Bethesda. They just bought Obsidian. Now they're buying another major game publisher that makes very popular video games. For some reason, people's choice of console sways based on those video games. Therefore, you shouldn't let it go through. Which is also bullshit, because Activision makes one video game. Blizzard makes one video game per decade. And King is a fucking mobile games company. Who cares? Also, they're all burning down anyway. but I'm pretty sure everything's kosher and the like signing deal's gonna go through eventually. It just takes time because paperwork and bullshit. Um, the problem with Blizzard now is it's the problem with EA and BioWare. Man, you know what was a great game? StarCraft 1, Warcraft 3. Who made those games? That patented Blizzard polish that they used to have, where every game came out perfect. All of those developers, where are they now? And the answer is not home. They're not at Blizzard. Whether they took the golden parachute out of the burning plane that was the state investigation by the Fair Employment and Housing Bureau, or differences of opinions, or just retirement or whatever, everybody that made the games you like at Blizzard isn't there anymore. The people that made BioWare, the doctors, the people who made KOTOR 1, the people who made Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, the people who made Mass Effect 1, those people haven't been there for a long time. So it doesn't matter if Microsoft buys and guts Blizzard, because Blizzard hasn't existed since like 2012, maybe. And it wasn't that great internally either. So it just doesn't matter. It's like how BioWare people are like, oh man, so excited for that Dragon Age game they've been working on for like a decade. Why? You know anybody who works at BioWare? Oh yeah, those guys that made Anthem. That game that used to exist. Same guys that made Andromeda. That game that came out. Which it sucks because it's hard to sit there and go, man, remember when Capcom was great? Devil May Cry, Resident Evil 4, Beautiful Joe, Okami, man. Those were the days. And it's like, well, all of those developers left. It's just like how Konami sucked. And then the guy who made Resident Evil and DMC Devil May Cry and Lost Planet, Idjek or Hideki or whatever his name is, he's not there anymore. Or Ono, again from Capcom. It's hard to trust a video game publisher. Like, man, you know what was great? Dead Space 1. You know what was surprisingly great and no one expected? Dead Space 1 again. The remake. How the fuck did that happen? Nobody at EA makes games worth caring about, yet somehow we got a faithful, respectful Dead Space remake? The fuck? Or BioShock Infinite, BioShock 2. Those people didn't make BioShock or System Shock. I'll tell about the ESRB in a minute. We've been sitting here in silence for like a while. There haven't been any combustions recently. So I hear him, honey. Please say psych. Please say psych. Say psych right now. Please? Hello? This thing on? Hello? I forgot I put that in. Holy fuck. Let's go. Anyway, I asked Wayne to make this back of the station. Please use it. Is it? I'll have to explain later. But I believe this will have some effect against Eve and the creatures she controls. Thank you. I guess I'll have to wait and see what it does. The Maida's gun. Sucks. Hi, Kami. How's no internet? I don't know why I thought it was a more modern game. System Shock 1 came out in 1994. System Shock 2 came out in 1998? Something like that. And then System Shock 1 Remake came out 3-4 months ago. What do we get rid of? A Medicine 3. Shit, working off hotspot right now. You do what you gotta do. And it's related to BioShock. I wish I had my hand tracking for this model. Because it would make so much. Sure, Tim. Sure. I came across some findings. Yes. First of all, there was a blood serum with Maya's name labeled on it in the freezer. My sister's name. And, well, the research code for it was called Eve. Eve? Then Eve really is... It appears to have been made up of liver cells. He was culturing them in the past. What do you mean? What for? I don't know. There isn't any data left. But it seems Dr. Clamp has been culturing them for years. I can tell you why reading's hard. Because when I read, I will not read. I will skip a word and assume I know what it means. Awful. Recently, it appears he was conducting research on artificial sperm. Unfortunately, Rune Factory is not related to Rune. Or Eve, of course. Or Eve? Yeah. Wanted me to exclude the mitochondria from the sperm and create new sperm. Sperm with no parasite. Sperm with only the nucleus. Check. Shall this game be finished today? God, I hope so. Dishonored is not related to For Honor. It is kind of related to Bio and System Shock. Yes. Yes. Took the sperm that he created here and moved it to the hospital. There, he would artificially inseminate those who would volunteer for the experiment. Then, what was the HLA list for? Professor Clamp? You ordinary beings will never, never comprehend my level of research. Professor, I'm placing you under arrest as the ringleader of this operation, of which I have zero proof. You did. Isn't something you can get away with. Do you understand? You are pathetic, Brea. Why put yourself in the human domains by recruiting or reciting meaningless laws? They're meaningless. Do you understand? I guess you haven't told your little friends yet. Your mitochondria has special powers, doesn't it, Aya? But sadly, you still don't have the form of a human being, don't you? God, I really hope that I don't fall into the live stream and end up in a coma fucking questioning my existence and my identity for the next, I don't know, arc of the video game. That would be embarrassing. You can say all you want. I'm just here to arrest you, Clamp. I'm not letting you interfere with Eve. You hear? Do you understand? Hiya, look out. You know, I'm going to post my favorite meme in the chat. This meme genuinely is older than the entire American fan base, their entire American fan base of the series. But oh my God, every so often, I just need to listen to this specific song, we'll call it. Shout out to Nico Nico Doga for the source. Daniel, thanks. I didn't see the scalpel. Just in time. Why didn't you shoot? You could have been killed. You're such a bad cop, Aya. Even if you didn't know he was armed. Sorry, I'll try and keep the editorial section away. I know, it just didn't seem real. Felt more like conscious again. Dallas to the rescue, huh? Officer Dallas, why didn't you shoot me? A good follow-up question, to be honest. What? I know you hate me. What do you want to say, huh? Of course I hate you. Because of you, Lorraine is the dead wife of Totally Not Barrett. She was killed because of spontaneous combustion due to mitochondria cell shit. Lorraine. So I see that your boy managed to escape. You should have killed you way back. Someday you're going to pay for this. Daniel. Shouldn't shoot civilians even if they're bad people. Not how justice works. It is how anime works. We'll see. We'll see. Oh my goodness, you guys can't even hear the game volume. Oh, I guess it is. There's just, like, you know, operas, or Eve's opera theme? It's just that background. What are you planning to do, Professor? I really should have put an epilepsy warning for that PC. I'm sorry, guys. You'll love this. I'm waiting for the birth of the ultimate being. And he won't tolerate no fake hedgehogs around here. Sorry. Guy needs VSync. Actually, no. What his monitor is doing is actually proper for a CRT monitor. So the way that most TVs, but especially CRTs work, is they basically constantly refresh the image. Constantly. Like, you can't see it normally, but if you take a camera to a CRT, it looks like the image is like, there's like a black bar passing through the image every so often. And that's because the frame is updating faster than the eye can see. but a low frame rate camera can see it. And typically those images on TVs, even new ones, uh kind of it's a bit of both. So on modern TVs and stuff, the TV doesn't capture everything real time. It updates the image every, I don't know, 1/60th of a second, depending on the refresh rate and so on. However, it does it from the top down. So if the image is partial, so like let's say I'm walking left and right on a video game. If I do it consistently, there will be something called screen tearing, where the bottom, because it goes from top to bottom, the bottom half won't be updated, but the top half will. So you'll see half of my character's torso going one way and the other half going the other way. That's basically what CRTs do all the time. And it updates based on frames effectively. And then also, so that's technically what VSync is for. It's called vertical sync. It syncs the refresh and update of the monitor consistently, so you don't get that screen tearing. But it's a piece of shit because it adds shit tons of fucking input latency and makes the game feel like shit. So now we have stuff like G-Sync, the GeForce NVIDIA version of VSync, which is a lot better. Mitochondria is passed on from the mother. E. Traces from the father can also be found in minute quality. G-Sync does, you just need a compatible monitor and a compatible graphics card. According to Eve, her sister in Japan was unable to attain her ultimate goal as father's side of the mitochondria caused a rebellion. Do you still get screen tearing? You might genuinely have to turn it on in your hardware settings. For Eve to succeed this time, I created sperm without the male mitochondria DNA. Creation was a success. Eve is now pregnant with Melissa's body. Reagnat? How can that be possible? Damn, Aya, we gotta kill Eve. Let's go. You stupid humans are so weak. So stupid. You may have been able to barge in here and do things your way. Till now. Things are going to change. I won't let you interfere with Eve anymore. Eve, can you hear me? You don't have to wait any. I'm ready. What the hell are you talking about? Daniel, Maida, run. She's going to blow up the whole place. Oh no, the consequences of your own actions. So I see. Your mitochondrial power doesn't allow you to... Why? Why? Stay here and try to save me. First of all, I'm a cop, and it's my job. After all, I am human. Like I said, humans are pathetic. Shit, I forget what the clamp key does. Awesome. No more loot? Fuck you. I need a refresh on what this does. Oh. I forgot about the next dungeon. Whoops. Next dungeon? I forget. Do you guys remember going to the hospital? I don't remember going to the hospital. I mean, I do, because I did it. Also, where the fuck is the T-Rex? I feel like I skipped half this fucking dungeon. But also, I don't care. I don't need the levels. I don't need loot, whatever. Get this fucking game over with. By the way, I did the Chrysler building on the old save, but we're not doing it, okay? Trying to remember. Are we really supposed to leave? Oh, no. We can leave. And go pick up some garbage in the hospital, like some trading cards. But we're not doing that. I went to the... I'm glad that I opened the guide. I was... Like, I have G-Sync turned on my GPU, and I have FreeSync monitor. I confirmed they are, in fact, compatible. Screen tilling will still happen to... Yeah, so G-Sync is better than FreeSync, technically. But also the higher frame rates, that's still... It also depends on how cheap your monitor is. Okay. Let us continue. Well, I mean, I have a cheap monitor that only most of the, like, 60, or most of the 75 plus monitors that have high refresh rates that aren't $300 fucking are like cheap. And they also usually have free stuff. Oh, right. I mean, that's what I did, no? Which higher refresh rates are amazing. Which makes me so upset that consoles are trying to, like, do, well, here's performance mode, where we don't hit 60, and here's quality mode, where we don't hit 30. Typically the human eye can see up, like, there isn't a limit, but around 120, what's it called? There's a word for it. The higher the frame rate / refresh rate, the less it matters. So basically, 200 is like the upper limit of what you need. Also, don't let anybody gaslight you. Humans do not see in frames. That's fucking stupid. Andato? I don't even remember what that means. I want to learn Japanese, but I need somebody to, like, what's the word? Keep me focused, I guess. I don't know. So I might do like a Duolingo stream or something at some point. Some people can see it. It depends on the video game a lot of the time. Wait, no, I wanted to see the fucking body fade out and her to fucking fall onto the floor. My body, it's burning. And I skipped the cuts or the text box too early. I'm stupid. Sure. Maybe. You could there's friends on Duolingo. You can do whatever. I just need to like learn to read Japanese because I'm reaching the upper limit of shit that is already translated. And I'm sick of like, oh yeah, that manga is so cool, I love it. And then the translation team died off. Damn it. So we haven't used any fucking spells, by the way. Probably should do that at some point. Let's see. What do we want? We could go for a liberate. Pre-raise is fucking sick. That's like re-raise from FF, which is if you die, you just get back up. Pretty good. And then this is just regen. Let's do liberate. We turned into a literal winged angel of death. How fucking cool this is. I really like the look of it in Third Birthday, even if it's a bad game. Which, by the way, you guys remember how I played DMC2? Thank you for the poggers. I think this is the best handgun in the game. We're not picking it up because I'm lazy. You guys remember how I played DMC2? How could you be burnt out when you have such a cool animation? Never used it in fucking training. Okay. Back to lobby. Anyway, okay. So this is the point of no return. Once we go into this door, there is no saving anything. If you missed a cutscene, if you missed one of the side dungeons, an item, some armor, doesn't matter. This is it. ESRB now? Maybe. We're about to get into a bunch of cutscenes, though. I'll do it while we have some fucking background music. ESRB existing is kind of weird. Back in the 90s, there were a bunch of parents who started this movement over violent video games. I know. Shocker. Never heard of something like that before. Me neither. And this started a bunch of congressional hearings. And basically, you had legitimate game company representatives. You had people who were talking about, or you had game company representatives trying to tell you that, listen, Mortal Kombat's not that violent. Even the Super Nintendo version took out the blood. Who gives a shit? Or, there was this fucking hilarious game called, like, The Peacemaker. And it's a light gun game. You got a light gun with it that looks like a revolver. And there were these fucking old dudes who were like, they're training our children to kill. And as all congressional hearings have, it's basically a lot of old people not knowing what the fuck they're talking about. There was the same thing for rock music, where you had like rock stars like the dudes from Twisted Sister going to a congressional hearing in suits. The same concept. The thing that I like, so I actually, because I'm a loser, and because I was genuinely going to write a script for a video that I would never make, because that's me, baby, I watched the entire congressional hearing. I rewatched the first half of the entire congressional hearing more than once. And it's actually really interesting for a lot of different reasons. So first of all, you have old people doom saying, fear-mongering, fucking Genesis games and Super Nintendo games, which, with the technology we have now, absolutely hilarious. You have those guys saying that light guns are training people to kill, when in the modern day we have more than one military shooter sponsored by the US military to paint the US military in a good light, to influence people to join the US military. Like, multiple of them. So many of them. Kind of creepy. But my favorite part... Oh, and of course you had moms going, my children, I bought them a video game that has a guy killing another man on it, and it was violent. But you had this, like, amazing dude coming from the other corner and using this entire discussion as basically a stepping point, because the dude basically sat up there and said, violence is fucked up. We expose children to a lot of violence these days. We have movies on TV where people go around shooting each other. Kids are going to see Alien and Predator, which are super violent movies. We have slasher flicks everywhere. American society, well, that was the style at the time. It was 80, 93, something like that. And he basically goes off on this platform and says, kids need to be protected from violence. And that's why video games and TV should be child-friendly. And basically there's like 5 hours of footage and a bunch of fucking paperwork and how the entire situation resolved itself was basically a threat. That entire congressional hearing was a threat. And that threat was, listen, video game men, you better like do something. You better police yourself on these video games or we will do it for you. And of course, as always, not wanting the government to get in on every fucking thing anyone's doing because all they do is fuck it up, they said, oh, well, we've been together. You created this wonderful company called the Entertainment Safety Ratings Board. And we rate video games at how child-friendly they are. You know, coincidentally, when it comes to creativity, self-expression, and entertainment, the government does nothing but fuck up. I own a book that was banned in school libraries. And this book is about a girl who reads banned books banned by her government. And across reading all of these banned books, she realizes, hey, wait a minute. These books talk about dictatorships. Hey, wait. These books are describing my government. And she eventually escapes North Korea, where she lived, and writes a book about how censorship by the government is a form of controlling the masses, controlling what they think, hiding the truth from them, etc., etc. Because, you know, propaganda and all that. It's a huge, deep, complex conversation. And the absolute irony that, no, it's not, different person. The absolute irony of banning a book about a girl realizing that she is in a dictatorship from reading those banned books was apparently lost on everybody in fucking the states where it was banned. It's so fucking stupid. And then, of course, they also ban, you know, anything that has the homosexuals in it. Because, I don't know. So the ESRB basically exists because the government threatened them. They said, hey, do it or we will. And nobody wants that. If you let the government do all that weird shit, then you lose creativity, you lose freedom. Her friend got caught with the book and North Korea executed her with an anti-air gun. That's not how it ends. Obviously, she has a Twitter. Why did we start talking about that shit? Oh, right, the ESRB. The government isn't smart enough, especially with video games. I mean, we're talking about the government in 1993. And all of these people, it's really funny. It's so fucking funny. They bring out a video game console and hook it up to the TV to show as an example, like People's Exhibit A or what the fuck ever, and they can't set up the Genesis. That's how old these people are. They rolled out the fucking giant CRT from everyone's classroom when the teacher was hungover or whatever. They rolled that shit out and could not hook up the fucking video. It's so funny. Oh God, it's fucking funny. Anyway, that guy ended up being completely correct. Children still go see shit like fucking horror movies and whatever. Yellow, red, white component cables are actually super confusing. No, the fuck they ain't. Yellow goes into yellow. No. Kami. Back in the day, there wasn't a blue port. It was red goes into red. White goes into white. Whatever fucking color I forgot to mention. And knowing old people like I do, I completely believe that it was probably just the TV on the wrong input or the console not plugged in or something. Speaking of, I have a wonderful story to tell after this. My throat is so scratchy. Oh, I didn't forget the color. I just forgot which ones I said. My birthday was 2 months ago. I did literally nothing. I took a nap on my couch. Which sucks because I really wanted to stream, but then we canceled all of the plans that we were gonna do. Still need to do like game giveaways and shit still. Look at all this goo, man. Look at all this goo. Wait, there wasn't a black one. Yes. It was just the 3. And before that, it was, fuck. What's the, like, piece of metal you had to put in your coax cable? I forget what that shit's called. Eve's on the other side. Yeah, so that's component cables. Composite is the first one, and component's the second one. And that is blue, red, green. Those are all video signals, and then left and right audio, which is red and cables, which sucks because why do you have 2 red cables? There was also S video, and there was also SCART. I love SCART. Talk to me about SCART. Eve. But this was in 1993, Tim. Good Lord, that lady pregnant. No wonder you made it this far. I love how she has 2 hands stroking her belly. Um, I don't think that's true because mono existed before stereo, but also they didn't use component cable. They used what is it? There's a couple different. No wonder you made it this far. Did I say that I love the hands that are just stroking the belly? It's so like doting mother, but like stomach up, it's just evil fucking demon bit. So fucking weird. Such an interesting design. Hmm. So are you going to congratulate me on this birth? What are you planning to do, Eve? Hmm. Perhaps you can help me answer that, Aya. Why do humans give birth? Hmm? Because we can't sexually or lay eggs. Maya. Look at all that biomap. Yeah, no, wait, what? Yeah, I just said that. But the white and red audio cables were always bunched together separately. So wait, if you have this giant biomass flesh monster, what's the point of having a giant pregnant belly? Why did I ask that? I know the answer. Also, that was just biomass in rubble. So weird. I really wish I had a bunk command right now. You okay, Aya? Aya. Kinda. Both made it out okay? Yeah, we barely made it through. See that ugly mama? That that was everyone from Central Park. What? Then you're saying that Lorraine's a part of this thing too? Oh no, Eve left. I'm sorry, Daniel. Yeah. It's been apparent as to what medication Melissa had been taking. What was she on? She was being administered immunosuppressants. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that somebody out there doesn't know what immunosuppressants are. Immunosuppressants suppress your immune system. Okay, what if you don't know what that means? Basically, it makes you more susceptible to getting sick. But immunosuppressant pills are useful for a few different things. They're useful for things like autoimmune disorders, where your immune system thinks that your body is the bad and attacks itself. It's good for kidney transplants or organ transplants because your body will kill itself. Let's say you get a new heart, your body will go, new heart, new heart, new heart, not our heart, not our heart, and fucking kill that shit as quickly as you can. But in this case, she was taking them so that she would become a weird flesh monster faster. Immunosuppressants? For what? Why? But Eve doesn't have any, like, pregnant baby fat. So. Do immunosuppressants act on the specific immune cells or just their communication? Depends on the medication. Here's the story. Melissa had a transplant when she was a kid. Transplant? What kind of transplant? Yes, it seems that she got one of your sister's kidneys after Maya died in an accident. A kidney transplant? So Melissa got Maya's kidney? Your mother and your sister were donors. Hold on. Oh, okay. You can be an organ donor as a child as long as you have your parents' permission. What? Really? I never knew that. Aya, that probably meant you were too. Just saying. Which one is the mom? This is Aya and Maya. Your mother's organs couldn't be transplanted after the accident. Which, by the way, if you want to hear some fucked up shit, so one of my dad's jobs is being a medical examiner. Yes, they named the kids Aya and Maya. It's the meme of twins. I hate it so much. Anyway, one of my dad's jobs is medical examiner. He basically has to go to a scene and determine the cause of death. Wrongful, unwrongful, whatever. A lot of the times, those people have been dead for more than a day and a half. Anyway, when you donate your body, what you can do is you can donate organs. You can donate specific organs. Kidneys, liver, heart, lung. Those are the main ones. But you can also donate. How often are your patients dead for more than a day and a half? Mine, never. My dad's cases are a lot of them. Man, I haven't seen my neighbor in like 3 weeks. Also, he needs to clean his apartment. It smells. Oh. I take care of them before as fresh as can be before they're dead. Anyway, when you donate organs, there's the main ones, obviously. However, there's other shit you can donate. You can donate veins. You can donate arteries. You can donate specific parts of your eyeball. Which means, obviously, you need those parts of a body as fresh as possible. So what my dad sometimes does, on the individual, is call up a guy, and that guy grabs a cooler, and he shows up with a bunch of tools, and sometimes he'll stick a thing in their eyeball and go and take the eyeball out. Tons of useful things in the eyebrow, or in the eyeball. You've got the cornea. You've got the actual eye itself. You've got the stuff behind the eyeball, like the hookups, basically. Sometimes, oh, well, this guy's legs are fucking sick. Great. They do the extraction at the scene with the body. In some cases, yeah. Depending on how much they donated, depending on the circumstances of the death. Sometimes a guy will show up with a hacksaw and be like, I think I want the right leg today. And then he'll grab the right leg and whatever else that guy wants from the body. Scary how it's a guy. I mean, it's his job. He is a paid professional. Eye extractions, especially getting the more fragile parts, are very difficult. Getting the eye out, that's easy. Getting all the stuff, like, working, difficult. But if it's like, if it's basically a lot and the body's in good condition, they'll just take the entire, depending. Like, the eyes are the first to go on a dead person because your body stops being naturally moist. Therefore, your eyes will dry out. But depending on the organ, they can wait until he goes to a morgue, hospital, whatever. But some of the time, the guy just goes, hey, I got my fancy little tool. I'm taking some eyes today. As for the least fresh, let's just say, naturally, the human body does eventually turn into that goopy biomass that Eve is piloting. So Maya's kidney was transplanted into young Eve. No, I'm sorry, the young Melissa. He had kidney failure. And Eve's kidney, really Maya's kidney. The intern that was present at the operation was, you guessed it, Herr Dr. Clamp. Hans Clamp, our main man Clamp, wanted to become a doctor. The doctors that were present during the operation were all surprised, and they were all screaming that the kidney was hot. You guys should find the wonderful stories of medical universities, medical schools, going to graveyards and digging up bodies to practice surgery. Kind of a wild one. Sourcing bodies is expensive. Then Eve is hard for me to say, but the original was present in Maya. Eve killed the host brain, cultured the kidney, gained her own physical body. Then that's what happened to Melissa. In her case, immunosuppressant drugs serve to act as a catalyst. So if you get a kidney transplant, you're going to take those drugs, but not forever, depending. In Japan, Eve targeted a girl who had undergone a transplant. Kidney transplant, to be exact. She was taking the same immunosuppressant drugs. This was all so that Eve would have a uterus, plant the fertilized egg. Not forever, because eventually you die. Eventually, your body will basically accept that the heart is yours. and will replace the heart eventually. So basically, every few years, your entire body, actually, physically, your entire body is brand new. So if I give half a liver, eventually, I'll just have a full liver again. So eventually, after you take immunosuppressants, your body comes to accept it and deal with it, and it's all normal. It'll just create new, like, pathways into the heart and all this fun stuff. Really interesting, genuinely. Wait, but the donor cells aren't replicating too? No. So your body creates its own cells, but those are of your DNA, unless you're a chimera, which is another interesting medical thing. You guys know what chimeras are? Basically, if you're a twin and your twin dies in the womb, but they die early enough that you absorb them in the womb, you can have the DNA of more than one person. Super cool. Today I learned Azzy's the girl version of that guy from FMA. Which one? In order to transplant organs, it was necessary for the HLA type to match. It lives symbiotically with other cells, so it's necessary to take immunosuppressants. Control the immunity and avoid rejection. Which researcher? Aren't they all researchers? Talking about Willow or whatever? While being controlled by Eve, Alyssa felt her body change. Oh, you're calling me the dog guy. Fuck you. Get a new joke. She finally got the lead part in the opera. If she had gone to the doctor, she would have been told to give up the part. So in order to avoid rejection, she kept taking the drugs. And after taking them not prescribed, well, she was so weak that Eva was able to take over her physical body. And that's how she transformed into Mitochondria Eve. I love how we've been, like, playing the game on stream for almost 2.5 hours. And most of it has been me setting the controller down and talking about unrelated, unimportant shit. Favorite. So then Maya's the original. In reality, it's Maya's mitochondria. I mean, genuinely, I like sitting there and talking and feel like my best streams are when I am not interacting with chat and I'm just talking about something. So this is fine. You know what? I need to do research on, so like, you know, in movies how there will be a guy standing in a helicopter and he'll shoot an RPG. I wonder if there would be any recoil on the helicopter. I feel like I've done research on it before, but I forgot. Anyway, Roger, commencing operations, sir. Finally, time has come, but our power to the test. Well, technically, maybe. It depends on the weapon. So, like an RPG 7, RPG stands for Rocket Propelled Grenade. So you shoot a thing out, and then the rocket part turns on. So it's not like a fucking rocket that's going... It's like plunk, shoo, kind of. Don't be impudent, Lynch. Shouldn't have to come to this. Yes, sir. Forgive me, Admiral. Calling all fighter jets. We've just received permission to attack. Commence operation. Head for the Statue of Liberty. As planned, Helicopter Team 1 will prepare for Plan 2. Team 2 will search, and the rest will do their best to impede further advancement. What? Are you sure? Navy's made their move. What? We can't allow this. We'll be repeating what happened yesterday with the jets. Oh yeah, by the way, some like tanks and jets tried to fight them. Hi, Snack Doge. Lorraine. Lorraine can't be a part of that thing. Huge creature. No, those cells. That must be where Eve's giving birth. Where she's giving birth? Yes. The huge creature will act as a barrier. Protect the ultimate being. Oh, I'm sure there's recoil. Isn't that why the back of the RPG is like open so it can vent out a lot of that like gas and stuff? However, if the other side of the helicopter was closed. Oh no, I mean like if you look up a video of a RPG-7 firing, when they shoot, there's a little bit of smoke on the back. Because, you know, that's just what guns do. Rain. The helicopter's coming. Everyone duck. Cover your heads and... Officer Bray of the NYPD, correct? Ma'am, it is my duty to accompany you to the aircraft carrier. Accompany her? To the what? Maeda's been playing too much Resident Evil 2. Welcome aboard the Navy's pride and joy, the Nimitz. I'm Williams. I command this ship. Sorry to have you come on such short notice. Hey, you better not be putting I in any danger here. You. Who do you think you are talking to the Admiral that way? Quite all right, Lynch. After all, correct. What do you mean? You're the only one that can't be ignited by her. I'm asking you, get in our chopper. Oh, hold on. Why you can't fly a helicopter? Not to worry. Chopper's been set to auto. You won't have any problems. Choppers have autopilot? So, needs to fire from a distance where she can't be ignited? Fortunately, weapon needs to be fired at a close range in order to work. A nuke needs to be fired from close range? Buddy. What? I assume they mean Eva will, like, shoot it down or stop it or... not move in that close. B. Wow. They just set it to auto detonate and fly the helicopter directly at it. I'll do it. Aya, no way! I'm not going up there. Our fate lies in your hands, Aya. Daniel? Dang. Not Lorraine. Do it for Lorraine too, Aya. Wait, Aya, please, take this. Come off it, man. Don't have time for that right now. Yes, of course. Aya, please be careful, okay? Of course. So he was gonna give her another, like, good luck charm. Or at least, that's the implication. Was not. I feel like my mic hard for me. Aya. Why are there more helicopters? Boys? Such needless fucking, like, maneuvering. Creature is within view. Switch to formation 2. They do in Japan's America. What's happening here? From the last battle, we were able to anticipate this attack. Positioned this way for a reason. What do you mean? Oh my god, they're literally sacrificing themselves. That's fucked up. We will act as your shield so that you will live to attack. What? No! I'm not doing this without your... So, if she has a thing that has autopilot, right? Like, she's sitting there, just like, I don't know, like, looking at her fingernails, pushing her cuticles back, whatever. If she can do that, why did we need 5 other people piloting helicopters? We're entering firing range. Prepare to attack. Alright. Please move away from me. Now! Not abandon our duty. Guides. Already within range. This is insane. Christmas Eve, I put a curse on my own body. Why me? Why is this happening to me? I don't understand. But I don't care anymore. Because Eve, I'm the only one that can destroy you. Once and for all. Maya, I'll end this and let you rest peacefully. Bro, it's just her kidney. Chill. Like, I'm pretty sure that kidney is goo anyway. So, again, they have autopilot, but they can't automatically detonate the nuke. Also, was that even a nuke? I don't think there was any nuclear in that nuclear nuke. Oh, look, it looks like the Statue of Liberty's crying. Of course, rule number 1 about making a, like, monster movie in America, specifically New York, Statue of Liberty has to be fucked. Well done. That was magnificent. Turn to base, Aya. No, not over yet. Delicious. You guys like orange jello? Oh, fuck. I forgot about this part. Shit. Hold on. Aya, come back. Now. It is too dangerous to continue. Return to base at once. Plan. Will you still save? What a weird way to fucking break. Yes, Aya. Please, I need to give you... Forget it. She's disconnected already. Alright, so... Can you remote control autopilot? Or is this automatically, like, preset? I think it's automatically preset. Because she's jumping out. And doing a low altitude parachute jump, which is incredibly fucking dangerous. Low jump. All right, everybody. This is it. This is the final confrontation. So, that must be the name of my host. Let me guess. Your sister. You have the ability to evolve. Why do you take the side of a doomed species? Humans aren't doomed. My mitochondria has the ability to evolve. It'll be able to evolve to get rid of you. Ha! Love that sense of humor of yours, girl. Why is it that humans kill? Humans kill each other. Humans kill other creatures. They even kill their own kind. We have our reasons, and you sure had a good enough time, or yeah, you sure are a good enough reason for us to kill. Ha! All organisms have something called a territory. Territory is guarded from natural enemies. But until now, humans had no such natural enemy. That what has allowed them to prosper at this point. You beings must think of your prosperity as history. But you're wrong. We mitochondria have lived within the human being and have allowed you to prosper. What? We mitochondria have made you create the perfect environment for us. Humans have come to rely on civilization and have lost touch with innate physical abilities. Can't you see that it's the perfect scenario? Literally, no, I do not. Wouldn't you take over the mitochondria in all of the plant life in a jungle? What? Then you're saying that humans were kept alive for the mitochondria's sake? You humans just served as transportation vehicles for us. What do you mean? Vehicles to transport us to the time the mitochondria would be free again. But you see, the vehicle is no longer needed anymore. From now on, the mitochondria will become human beings and will rule this earth. Oh, so you're still gonna be aping us because you're, what, too weak? Too not creative? You don't have your own identity? All right, so this is Eve 1. Has a lot of phases. Let me think. I do not think we will need pre-raise yet. I believe she has an instant kill in phase 2 or 3, but spoilers for the entire next, like, 25, 30, 45 minutes. I'm gonna be cheating and using save state. Oh my god, this fucking, like, counter ability is getting me killed. That would be phase 1. Oh no, the finale will take 45 minutes. I'll give you points for trying, but enough of this. Watch and learn what evolution truly means. I thought Rin wasn't streaming today. Oh, hey, where'd her, like, blorb go? Oh, no, we are alive. Let's use a medicine. Oh, my fuck, you are correct. Don't worry, we'll be raiding. You know what? I'll deal with poison instead of healing my ability to move. Well, fuck you then. Give me both, I guess. Did I say she? I made you misgender that? How? I'm sorry. Fuck. I'm fucking thinking about this stupid mitochondrial Eve bit. Man. No. No. Can't be our natural enemy. No. I always say I'm fucking stupid. You know what? Please call me out on that because I need to stop. Also remind me to turn down my, like, either turn up gain or turn down my, fucking... Gate. It's not intentional. It's just me being stupid. Have been some mitochondria that underwent a different type of evolution. Think about it, Eve. Rin does not simp me. Basic. Liberation. No, I'm kidding. It's liberation. I don't like that spell. Rin does not simp for me. It's just not true. I'm sorry. We're just a couple of besties. We're roommates. Emotionally roommates. Fangirl chats? Over what? The weird shit I talk about? Aya, come on. Aya? What's wrong? Huh, you are great, Aya. Shows that only my partner can pull it off, huh? Yeah, Aya. I'm relieved that you made it back safe. Why the hell did Eve have to bring all of this to the Statue of Liberty? Because of the ocean that symbolizes. The sea is the mother of all creation. This is where she wanted to give birth. Okay, I know. Now I know you're joking. If you don't mind, I'd like to have some time. You know, he deserves it. I mean, everything's fucked, and now his wife is dead, which means he's an only parent. Everybody else has been guided inside, miss. No need for this anymore. You take it. Keep it as a souvenir, huh? Yeah. Thank you. Oh, no, you're fine, Tim. Don't worry about it. Aya. Wayne came all the way from the precinct to see you. Yo, Aya. I'll be outside. The smell of the oil makes me, rather queasy. Knew it. I knew you could. When I heard that you blew this thing to bits, I had to come over here. Everyone's saying that you're the #1 cop in New York right now. Hey, what's wrong? Killed that thing. Aren't you happy? I guess you're in shock or something, huh? Yeah, and you're probably tired too. I'll take the things that are in your way. You rest up now, okay? So now we can deposit some. Get rid of the rockets. Or we can. Also, it looks like I literally have no healing. Oh, wait. Different inventory. Adoy. Still can't get rid of the Narita. Hey, as a souvenir for blowing Eve away, I'll engrave your name on any weapon. Choose a weapon and armor. All right, you guys, what are we naming the USP to? It doesn't matter because it won't be the name of it in the, like, save I have for the Seeker Boss, but any requests? If not, I'll name it something. Rocco Gat. You were reading my mind. Ashes. It's perfect size too. All right, and what about this armor? Perfect. Great being on this cruiser, huh? Gotta tell my mom about this. And of course, we have one last safe point. Officer. Oh, wait. Fuck. Well done. I have received some supplies from Admiral Williams. Please make use of whatever items you need. I think he gives you 4? Maybe 3. All right. Let's take a well-deserved rest. Some Christmas, huh? Tell me about it. It is? Well, it's a Christmas New Year's movie. Sorry, we're late. Cannot approach the creature without absolute confirmation of its death. Your help was greatly appreciated. Please, rest inside. Citizens of the United States. What? going on? What? What is it? Scaring me. Mitochondria was creating. It couldn't have been the uterus for the ultimate being. No. So much for a nap. You know, I'm going to hold off on making any weird jokes about the termination of this enemy. What the hell is that? You've got to be kidding. That, the ultimate being. We didn't make it in time. What are these explosions? Mitochondrial energy must be out of control to the point where it's causing these explosions. We will escape by helicopter. Please, follow me. Guess all we can do for now is run. Aya, come on. Aya? What's wrong? I have to take care of this. Aya, no! Don't worry about me. I'll be back. Please, hurry. Shut up, man. Aya, please take... Cut it out already with that voodoo stuff, huh? We can't be wasting time. This is a little more important than that. No, Daniel, please. It's different. Not the voodoo stuff. Hurry, please. You two should go. Now. Aya, you're coming back no matter what. You hear? I genuinely... So babies are common... Children and babies are common in horror. I'm not sure if it's for any specific reason, but personally, I think that it's common use in horror media because there's nothing more stomach churning than an infant's mortal wail. If you don't know what I'm talking about, good. You or me. Who's going to be the one to make it through? That's the question. Don't worry about it, Tim. This is... Let's call him UB1. This is the ultimate being first form. That's one hit sound. I mean, that is effectively what I said. But... Oh, wait. Do we have revives? Do these use automatically? Oh! By the way, that was an instant death attack. Oops. That's baby one. Oh, no, 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 no. Not snuff film. But, what's the word? A genuinely distressed child is a very scary sight. Especially when they are not taken care of. Is it growing? Happening. What? Who are them things? I love how it's still crawling, just to emphasize its infantility. Ow. Infantilism? Oh yeah, no, there's a difference between the I'm hungry, I need to be changed, I need to be coddled cry. It's the mom hasn't returned home. Or she is, but she's just playing Xbox Live or something. This is the mature being? So there are multiple instant kill moves that this guy has, but I have revives, which I did not bring the first time I did this fight. Pocket liberate? Question mark? If we start hitting zeros, that means that we kill them. It's a shame there's no model viewer. Don't kill me! Fuck, I might be dead. I am confused. By the way, the more you use your parasite powers, the slower the PE gauge will charge. But if you switch armor, then it's fine. I heard you slept through bio, so I'm here to give you the lesson you missed. When a man and a woman love each other very much, they sex the stork into giving them a child. Are you sure? Because, like, Eve took... Semen, was it? Even basically asexually reproduced. It's still growing? No, wait. It's still evolving. Also, bold assumption on the love part there. Uh-oh. That's not good. Not really doing much damage. You know, Who you know that sleeps in bed with someone they don't love? Me when I'm sleeping alone? I know you want to continue living. After all, born. I want to live too, like all other humans. Damn, there's no end to this. Only we could get this to Aya. What are those? They're bullets with Aya's cells in them. So that's what you were trying to give her. But I think it's too late now. Nothing we can do. Stupid. Give them to me. Of all the stupid... I love that it's only his clothes that are on fire. Also, if this was just like your mitochondria going haywire, you would still you would still die. You can light fire underwater. This is from Mida? So we are using Mida's gun, loaded with 15 shots of Mida bullet. And look at that damage. I wonder if you could upgrade the Mida gun. Hold up, let me look. Nah. Well, maybe base power and stuff, but I don't think it matters. Because there's no air to glow? Yeah. Falling apart. Daniel. Oh my god. There's got to be something on this cruiser to get rid of this. All right, so time for the worst part of the game. If you make a wrong turn, if you let that thing touch you, instant death. Engine room. And there are wrong turns you can make here. It's so annoying. Like, this might be a wrong turn. I don't remember. Not. That thing immediately spawns right next to you. So if you go the wrong way, congratulations. You have to do every single fight again. Spooky music, eh? Boiler pressure shoots up and blow this ship to bits. We're in Hell's Kitchen. Get it? It's a place in New York. Pause for comedic effect. Comedic effect. It's not my joke, it's the game's joke. By the way, you need to keep running. You will die. Don't stop. Fuck this part, especially. Game also says pause for comedic effect. Yes, it did. Totally. God, I hate this part of the game. That's not gonna save you from a fucking boat exploding! Alright, fine. I will raid Rin, do the finale, secret boss later. Remember when you were my friend, Tim? Not just Rin's? Finally over. I don't understand. I have this power? Because Maya is inside of you too. When your mother and sister died, transplanted a part of your sister into me? You were 7, probably don't remember any of it. Born with a defect in your right eye. So, Maya's cornea was transplanted in your right eye? Right eye? Then, what I saw when I touched Eve was, it is said that when you have an extreme experience, what you see then is branded on. This hasn't been scientifically proven. That was Maya's last memory ever saw. As for the mitochondria that was inside Aya's body, it underwent a different evolutionary change than living symbiotically with Aya's mitochondria. Still possessed Eve's power. From there, it evolved to the point where it could live symbiotically with the human nucleus. Me and Aya, our mitochondrial power. Starting with the incident in Japan, on with this. Wonder if this is a message to all mankind. Message? Kind of message. How can I explain? The Earth is a single human being. We humans that invade the Earth become viruses out of control. That's right, baby. Humans are the bad guys. Always. Let's go. We, in essence, are upsetting the natural balance of the body. Definitely. Utter. We're not that weak. You see, humans are, in essence, parasites. Say that we are parasites and the world is our host. Look, sun's coming up. Final Fantasy VII is a video game about climate change. And this one too, just a little bit, somehow. Come on, Aya. Here, take my hand. Thank you, Ben. No red dress? I'm not too good with these social events. Nah, not me. I love these things. You have to make up for Christmas Eve. This is my first time, so I'm... That because you're all dressed, or is that because you're with Aya and she's all dressed up pretty? My god, this text is so fast. Hold up. Better hurry. The restroom must be really crowded. Yeah, that's probably. What's wrong? Seem tense. Uh, yeah, sure. What? Oh, well, since I'm going back to Japan tomorrow, I figured. Move, Maida. Yeah, all right. Made it back on time. I'm sitting next to Aya. Sorry, we're late. He's fucking so punished, Maida. Nah, that child's cool. All right, this is the ending. Play that started it all. I'm not reading any of it. It's super cheesy and stupid and bad. We're gonna go raid Rin in 8 seconds. Have a good night, everybody. Let me fix that. All right, I'm worried this one's gonna get copyright. So, um, Aya Brea will return in the EX episode, and probably not the sequels because I don't want to commit to nothing. Have a good night.